It's no secret that I think Christians need to diversify their attention if they're hoping to make the most out of this year's recession. And the reason why I think Christians need to diversify their attention is because you can become lopsided. So generally, believers are generally on the Christian channels, the channels that talk about the spiritual realm, the channels that talk about what's going on in the church, and all of that is fine and dandy. But how is that setting you up for your financial future? How is that positioning you to be a recession millionaire? I want you to ask yourself that. Now, I'm not telling you to completely turn those channels off. I'm not telling you that, especially if they're like prophetic voices who are giving you insight into what God is saying about money and financial systems. You do need to listen to them because they're giving you heavenly insight. But what you need to do after you listen to them is go partner that insight with some type of financial information to come up with a strategic plan on how you're going to make it to the next season. Unfortunately, Christians do not do that well, and I want to stop that trend. Hey y'all, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Dr. Brianna Whiteside, and welcome to Recession Millionaires, where we talk about money and building wealth. Before we get started, I want to ask you to please like the video to get it started in the algorithm. Please leave me a comment if I say something that you find that's of importance, and please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Y'all, today we're going to talk about attention diversification, and I'm going to share one of the channels that I watch a lot. Even when I'm not directly watching it, I am listening to this channel because I am trying to learn as much as I can about the economy, the stock market, and global markets. So y'all, unfortunately, the church has conditioned us to only hyper focus one way. And while I think that you should know about the spiritual realm, you should use your discernment to help you to stay out of sin and to avoid hardship, God willing, I do think that we have done people a disservice because we have not prepared them to live on earth. And here is what I mean. Generally, people are praying to go to heaven. But the issue is that we are expected to bring heaven on earth. We're supposed to live in God's economy. We're supposed to live by kingdom standards. But if we're trying to just beam me up Scotty to heaven, you're not trying to live a life on earth. You're not trying to live an abundant life on earth, which Jesus told you that he came for you to live. Either you're going to believe this Bible or you're not. So I want us to stop doing two things. Number one, I want us to stop just quoting "we in the last days," because these last days have been long. We have been in the last days since the time of Jesus, and while they may be last days, they may not be your last days. Okay, so I want us to stop focusing on when is Jesus coming back and when is the last days or when is the rapture. Get off those left behind movies and start living your life right now, because there's so much opportunity in this world right now, and so many of us are not living in that opportunity because we're hyper focused on the spiritual realm. Now, I'm not saying, to be clear, I'm not saying be ignorant. I'm saying you may know enough information. You may not need to listen to another sermon on Jezebel. You may not need to listen to another sermon on Ahab. You may not need to listen to another sermon about a disciple betraying Jesus. You may not need to do that. And why am I saying that? Because just like the sons of Issachar, who discerned the times and seasons and knew what Israel ought to do, you should be discerning that we're in a wealth transfer moment. You should be discerning that we're in a moment that sets people up to become millionaires. And therefore, you need to know what to do. You need to know what to do. Learning about Jezebel in this season is not going to help you build financial freedom. I want you to say that with me. Learning about Jezebel in this season is not going to help you build financial freedom. It's not. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to prepare you. This is so urgent, y'all. This is so urgent because too many times believers come in last place, and we like to demonize people for being wealthy who are in the world, and we like to say they sold out, they gave their lives to mammon. Not everybody. Some people just positioned themselves. Some people just took advantage of time and chance intersecting. Some people had the discernment of the sons of Issachar. Some people knew what to do. But Christians, we are hyper focusing on the church beef and drama, and cool, it's gonna be church beef and drama. Cool. I'm not telling you not to watch it, because if that's your thing, you've grown. I'm saying, what are you doing to get yourself out of debt? What are you doing to get your family out of poverty? You know, your Bible tells you that a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. So if you don't have enough to leave an inheritance for your children's children, you don't have enough time to be sitting on someone's video watching the gossip. You don't. If you're not in a position to lay hold of this recession and make it the best recession of your life, then you don't have time to be listening to gossip channels and to keep learning about things you already know. You already know it. Why are you going over it again? I want to be clear here, y'all. I'm not telling you to not listen to church leaders. I'm not telling you not to listen to prophetic voices. I'm not saying any of that. I am saying that financial information should be a high priority for you right now, because it's too many people in the pew who are broke and poor. It's too many people in the pew who keep sowing and believing that they're about to get a certain financial blessing, and it's not biblical. It's not biblical. So ultimately, we're gambling here. I just heard a testimony of a woman say that she sold $100 and something thousand. She sold this because a minister told her that God was going to give her 7 times. God was going to give her 7 times of the seed she sowed, and now this lady is homeless. Y'all, stop falling for these tricks. Stop falling for these games. Stop falling for this foolery and this trickery. People have been lying. They have been lying for so long, and thank God I have not been a victim of those types of systems. I thank God for protecting me for that, but so many people are. Stop falling for the tricks. They're lying. They're lying. I had to get myself together. You need to diversify your attention. And I'm going to give you the platform that I watch every day before the stock market opens. I listen to it in the evenings as I'm cleaning up. And it's not a content creator. It's literally a financial platform. And it is called Bloomberg Business Live. And they do a 24-hour streaming. And the reason why I like Bloomberg is because they're not a political platform. They're not right-leaning. They're not left-leaning. They are a financial platform, and they give you the financial facts. They give you the data. They bring on economists. I've learned so much about bonds that I didn't know. I learned so much about the 10 yield that I didn't know. Like, I've learned so much about finance and how things are interconnected that the mainstream media will not just tell you. I've learned so much. And the reason why I am saying that I listen to them, and you can decide if you want to listen to them or not, the reason why I am saying that is because we need to learn about money. We need to learn about the facts. We need information. They're teaching about global economies. They're teaching about how our economy really functions. They're giving you both sides of the coin when it comes to political issues. They're not drawing conclusions. They're really married to the facts, and we need the facts now. So many people are persuaded by their feelings. So many people are bought out. So many people just get on TV and lie. They get on TV and lie because their favorite political person is in their pocket. Y'all, I can't tell you who to listen to, whether it's spiritually or financially. I can only tell you what I'm doing. And ever since I have started immersing myself in finance content, in financial conversations, in financial podcasts, my entire view of everything has changed. So we can't keep saying, I wasn't taught this at home. I wasn't taught this in school. Okay, but you can learn it now. A lot of times for free, sometimes for a small investment. You can learn it. You have to train your brain to learn it. It won't be easy. Sometimes it'll seem boring, and you'll be like, I have no idea what they're talking about. But the more you listen to it, the more you begin to understand, because your brain opens up. It's just like learning a foreign language, right? Which is what finance was for me. A foreign language. So I'm trying to learn this language, and I'm like, I don't know what they talking about. This don't make sense. But the more I spend listening, I began to pick up stuff, and then I began to understand what they were talking about. Now, I don't know everything, but I'm committed to learning every day. I turn on Bloomberg Business News Live. It's free here on YouTube. The platform is Bloomberg Television. All you got to do is turn it on in the background, turn it on as you're cleaning up, turn it on as you're driving, instead of, listening to music and all this other stuff. We have to begin to train our brain. We're coming in last place. The Bible tells you, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. You don't have the information. If you don't have the information, you're going to have to go after the information, right? And that means putting yourself in the room, listening to things that will give you the information that will enrich your life. Now, I understand that the other stuff is, you may find it interesting. It's like, ooh, okay, I know this, but how are you going to apply it? How are you applying another teaching on Jezebel? Tell me, how are you applying it other than saying, oh, I need to watch out for this? And sometimes it never even happens. So how are you applying that information? How are you applying the information when people start talking about the deep things of God, which are not always deep things? Some of it is witchcraft, New Age spiritualism, African spirituality. And the reason I know this is because I studied African spirituality in school. So how are you applying this stuff? How is it enriching your life? How is it helping you leave an inheritance to your children's children? It ain't, because it was never designed to. It was never designed to. All that was designed to do is allow other people to get rich off your back. While you get poorer and poorer, or you kind of stagnate in your life, they're getting rich off your back. And then you're left crying out to God. You're left begging. You're left in lack, when that was never supposed to be your portion. Because the children of the world, the Bible tells you, are wiser or more prudent in their time than the children of light. We can't afford to be lazy here. We have to begin to listen to the conversations that we have never listened to before. My favorite right now is Bloomberg Television, because they give a global perspective. So I want to leave you with it. I just want to tell you who I'm listening to. You don't have to listen to them, but you need to be listening to financial content. You do, because you have to begin to retrain your brain. So I'll see y'all soon. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, let me know who your favorite financial institution is, or financial podcast is. Also, I have several resources that you can take a hold of. All of the links are in the description, some financial, some strategic, all of them with you in mind. I'll see y'all soon in another installment of Recession Millionaires. Bye.